Dang, another account with almost 1 billion mana. Hey guys, before we start the video, if you guys are interested in getting advice and help from me and other Summoners War players, feel free to join my Discord, where the link is in the descriptions below. Also, if you enjoy my content and want to support me, become a Patreon, where the link for it is also in the descriptions. I want to say I appreciate all the support, and believe me, I really do. Anyways, that was it. Let's get back to the video. Hi guys, this is Juno and welcome back to another Summoners War review video. Today we are on Contra's account. It's a Europe server account who wants to know how to improve in RTA specifically, but he is open to any advice that would make his account better. If you look at the profile real quickly, he does have two really great LDNAP 5s, the Tianling with Asima, obviously played in different types of teams, but you have to agree that they are both pretty much S tier LDNAP 5s. If you look at the record, his highest arena rank was C3. I guess he's happy with the rank. A lot of people that reach C3 now really wants the red star, but I guess it's not the case for him. And he just wants to get better in RTA, which I understand because RTA is definitely the more competitive indication on how good you are at the game. So if you look at his dungeon teams, he also has two LDNAP 5s that we see, two new ones at least with the Manananan and Jara. Definitely the more mediocre ones compared to the other two that we just saw. We'll take a look at his box and other things to see if he has even more. And we'll also take a look at his runes and see what he's lacking at, where he could improve on. Take a look at his arena stuff. And finally end it with RTA, which is going to be a little more focused on since it is the content that he really wants to improve on. He has the Debra and he has the Marine. So definitely very good units for arena offense, Guild War offense. It looks like if he builds this correctly, there's not really a wrong way to build Debra, but the popular way is with triple fight or double fight will, because you do want to use her in either BGR5, Solo R5 and also in arena. Asima, definitely a pretty okay build, but I don't like crit damage builds with low crit rates since it makes it obsolete. Other units, a lot of water nat 5s, a lot of dupes I see, so it looks like he is striving for the world boss points. Looking at there's 5 Gildongs and then he has 2 Molongs, 2 Wusas, maybe definitely a siege player. In the fire department, 2 Pernas, other than that 2 Shinas, and in the wind department he has a Dominique, he has the Oliver, he has Chunkbunk, 2 Savannahs, 2 Leos, he has a Tiana. So definitely he has all the units for a great AO. Now let's look at the light units. This is where we want to see the Tianling, 2 Mollys, wow, okay. So did he have a Cardinal in the fire department? He didn't, but he does have the Wind Monkey, right? He doesn't have a really great HP lead for arena defense, so maybe he does want to go a speed defense since he does have the Tianling. We also see that he has a Quintain de Chain, another great awesome unit. So that's a 5th LDNAP 5 that we found. So 1, 2, let's count it officially. And there's a Asima here, 3, 4, 5, 6. He has 6 LDNAP 5s. You have to say 4 are relatively really good, and 2 is pretty much mediocre. Grogan, great AO unit, but it's on Rage Blade. So I'm really curious about Tiana's speed. 204, not incredibly fast. So maybe there is a lack of rune issue, seeing he can't use arena offense units to their full potential. Okay, now let's take a look at the runes. Take a look at Swift. I really want to see how fast his runes are, since seeing the Tianling, seeing the Grogan offense too, because I like Grogan offense and the fast offense, but yes, the second turn offense works really well as well. I do want to go with the fast defense, also seeing that he doesn't have a great HP lead. So 29, that's a really great slot 1, and then 26. 26 again on slot 3. 26 is pretty good, not bad. 26 on slot 4, another 26. 28 if he gets a legend grind here. I would focus on that dungeon, because getting this grind is a really big improvement over your slot 4s. I mean, even a hero max will give it a 27, which is still the fastest rune that you'll ever get on this slot. Oh wait, never mind. If you just get a grind here, these could be 27 as well. So you are really looking for that. You're really looking for that legend gem, a legend grind. Sorry. Here 24, lacking slot 4. So if you do want to improve your Swift set, I think getting an improvement on this slot, greater value than 24 is not incredibly hard. It is still difficult since it is Swift runes. Getting that extra roll in speed is, yeah, it hurts you, but it is possible. So if you do want to improve that, you can work on that. And finally, a 25 on slot 6. One fastest rune set, and then the second rune set will be significantly slower. Let's look at Violent 26 slot 1. I am seeing grind issues. I'm surprised that this is not grinded, nor it has a better gem over the maybe the crit damage. Jara 22, so pretty slow slot 1 rather than the first slot 26. 26 slot 3, 25, 25. So I'm not seeing a rune that's effective, like super crazy good. 24 and then 26. So effectively, I think your Violent runes are much weaker than your Swift runes. Let's go to Will. 25, 25, 22. That's a weak slot 3. 32. Okay, that's really strong slot 4 though. Could be 33 as well. This is up to you, and yes, because it is a Will rune, if you're giving it to a attack bar booster or some kind of support, accuracy is the way you want to go. If you are a efficiency chaser like I am, yes, it's not the best way to get the best set for your units, but I am an efficiency chaser, so for me I would give this a attack gem and grind that. But that's just me. Everybody has a different way of playing. Next one is 25, so the second one is also not that bad. And then a 24, then 19, another ancient rune. So it could be a 25 if you give it a max, but it could still be a 24 if you give it a hero. Then a 28 slot 6. So there are some really nice runes in the Will set, but there are also slots that are really weak. Like this one, slot 5, and also the slot 3 was really weak. Slot 1 is not particularly strong either, but 25, well, we have 3 25s, okay. Maybe it's a little stronger than what we expected. I would say Violent is the weakest. That is something you want to work on. Seeing a lot of these runes, most have grinds and most have gems. So I'm not gonna say you're like really pushed to do R5, but it is always a plus. I would also run some of those ancient dungeons and try to get those speed gems or speed grinds. Speed grinds, because you do have runes that could improve your entire slot. So I would work on that. Let's take a look at your arena. There's so many things you could do with your arena. But this is Europe, so I know that is much harder. You are running a fast defense with a Martina Shayna with the Tianling, which I do like to see. Let's take a look at the builds. So Tianling, I want it really fast. Despair, okay, if this is the fastest you could do with Despair, and if this is faster, much faster than your Violent runes, then this is a good, okay build. And then your Shayna's on Swift, I hope. Okay. I believe if you make your Shayna much faster, just forget about all this damage, just make it much faster. I think it'll be much better. And your Martina as well. I think I'll throw away the crit damage build. I'll throw away the crit damage build and go with a more, well, you could keep the crit damage. I'll just go with the faster build. I should say it like that. If you're not using this in siege defense, I would just go with a much faster build. Give your Shayna a faster Swift set. Make it like 290 at least. And then Martina, give it a faster Violent set. Like at least, I think the plus 150, 60 range minimum with the speed difference. Because of that Tianling, it is pretty hard for them to come in with a faster offense unless they come in with a Gemini. And Samath missing an artifact on Despair Nemesis. I'm kind of worried about the low accuracy. Maybe you could get a higher accuracy artifact. And I actually am not a fan of a Nemesis set, but if you're seeing success with it, then I really have nothing to say. I usually like the Will build better. I was gonna advise something like this, a speed defense, but if you don't want to use this, you could obviously go with like a Triton or a Clara. No, you don't have Triton, so you'll go with the Clara. Something that could do damage. I mean, I guess a Seema is good too. So this is like a full-on cleave team. So if it fails, it's GG. Or you could go with like a Belio too, right? But this has to be on a crit damage build, because you want everybody here to do some kind of damage. So additional damage artifacts will be really helpful in this type of team. Yeah, I'll try both. Now offense wise, so you have a fast offense with a 32 speed lead with Seema Contending Sheng. I don't like Contending Sheng here. I'd rather put in a Savannah or some sort, because Contending Sheng isn't bringing in much. You'll have to wake up everybody anyways, so I'll just take that out and add in another damage dealer, a secondary damage dealer with a defense break probably, right? I mean, the Seema does have the defense break with her crumble and stuff, or you could use her as a main defense breaker and having another damage dealer like a Cocky that does straight up full on damage. It looks like you're not watching my videos, so it doesn't look like you have any type of second turn team that I run. I think you should build a second turn team since you have a lot of the good units to do so. This is also a very good offense that I like to see. And I guess you are looking for the pushback for your Grogan to move, since I know your Grogan is much slower than everybody in this team. I think if you want to really reliably do that, your Poseidon needs to be on much higher accuracy. So I'm pretty sure these are the small flaws that you're meeting up with, which is causing you to fail your offenses and not get your new record. If you look at your offense rate, 86%, not that bad, but your previous rank was an F3, so I'm assuming that you didn't climb. If you look at your C3 rank, you did have a pretty damn high victory rate, 92%. It's a very few attacks, so either you attack really late or your attacks are really slow. And your defense rate was 14%, which is not that great of a defense rate, right? But it is Europe again, it is much harder. I could say that with your rune quality, you could get G1 at the very least. I was able to do that with previous improvements in Europe server. It was hard, it was definitely more difficult with failing offenses, but I think you have really strong offense units, much stronger than the accounts I worked on, meaning that you could reach a new goal pretty easily if I get to work on it. It doesn't have to be me, like you could learn from my videos, and I'm pretty sure you can hit it as well. Take a look at your towers. I'm hoping you got all your towers done. Yes, okay, very good. Now let's take a look at RTA. RTA, you're in C2, which is not bad. I think you will be hovering around C2, C3. You played a lot more this season, but not climbing as much. Your victory rate is much lower with much more games played. Let's take a look at some of your replays. So you're running a Masha. I mean, I'm pretty sure he first picked Oliver, so I'm pretty sure you picked Oliver sometimes too. No. So you don't like to play the Oliver game when he has a great speed lead and it looks like you're going some kind of speed team. He has a great speed lead plus a very OP box. 3 strippers. Are you winning these? So you won that. Did you lose anywhere? You lost this. 3 strippers. I'm pretty sure you just got outsped. I mean, he had Volantis with the Verd. Did you ban the Verd? I think that is the ban you have to go for, or you have to risk it because he's gonna ban. I think he'll ban them more. Let's take a look at this. Just want to know what he did and how you lost, because you are going with the full cleave team. The only way that he could really win easily, yeah, you banned the Verd, okay. But now he'll outspeed, right? He doesn't outspeed. Wow, his Lance is really slow. But he still took the turn, didn't do much. Oh, he's... Yeah, you just don't have damage, don't you? You just don't have damage, and there's too much sustain. Okay, that's why you lost. I mean, now if your strip or if your strip fails, you're done for. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's take a look at your box. Very big box where you really don't need some of these units. Take this out, take this out. It looks like some of these are not being used. Not even with artifacts. I'll just take them out and not even focus the runes on them because it makes no because it makes no sense to give any runes to those units that you're barely gonna use. Your Ren 2, pretty slow. Juno, pretty slow. Despair Revenge. Perna. Vanessa needs these skill ups. You think it's not much? You think her revive is everything? But no. If Vanessa is an RTA, if you're drafting her, you're not drafting her just to be a shuttle, a revive shuttle. If you want her to do anything, she needs to put in that defense break. She needs to put in that damage. If she's not doing that, she's not gonna work. So take that out. Yeah. So other than that, everything is Chu. Well, I understand why you're using Chu with no skill ups because he does work. He's mainly there for the strip, right? And his strip does not gain activation rate by scaling him up. But if he fails to do the strip in the beginning, he's done for. I guess you're really hoping that with the strip, everything's done. Okay, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything. This could work, and it looks like you're having success with it. But I don't like using units that needs this many skill ups without skill ups. I'd rather get another speed lead and just work with 2 strippers, right? Like you had 2 strippers in your drafts, more like 3 strippers in most cases with the Chu. But I'd rather put in something else. Almost everything is skilled up, so I will definitely just condense your box. I'll condense your box, focus your best runes on them, and then play it that way. Even me, I have a big box, but I used like 10 units, and with that I'm hitting C3 this season. I'm pretty sure you could do the same. Your rune quality is probably not far off from mine. Mine might be slightly lower even in some sets, but if I could reach C3 with a more limited box than yours, I don't have Masha, I don't have Oliver, I don't have any of these LDNF5s. You should definitely be able to do it as well. I mean, I like the way you're playing. I just think you should use your Oliver more. Right now he's in a very mediocre build, as you can see, and this is probably because you are throwing all these runes to other units that you're not using as much. Imagine the power you have with Oliver, Changpeng. You could even put in the team, no, don't put in Tianling because you're actually nerfing yourself, but the more, the Qinting, the Shang, and then the Asima. You might want to go with like a Swift Qinting De Shang if that's it, because you want to follow up with something really fast, right? So the more will be on a really fast Despair set. This is actually pretty slow. I'll take off the will just to get more speed. Make this a really fast violent Qinting De Shang, because I'm pretty sure it's pretty easy to get Qinting De Shang, right, going right after a Despair more, right? But if you go Swift on both, then definitely Swift, or even still then violent, because his space speed is just insane. But anyways, war goes first, Qinting De Shang goes with the pushback, or you could even make the Changpeng go with the pushback, and then Qinting De Shang goes, and then your Oliver just starts resetting everybody, right? And then the damage. I mean, depending on any of these units being banned, you still have all the pushback, all the damage, with all this additional damage, with the defense break. Oliver does some decent damage as well. More does a lot of additional damage too. It does come down to artifacts, but that's how it works. I think you're not climbing as much because you are not playing with the Oliver. And yes, it is weak against Masha, and maybe that's what you're scared of because you think Masha is a better unit. Your Masha particularly is not really well ruled either. Really not high attack, 0 accuracy, just too high of a HP. I'll just kill the HP for more damage, because right now I think even if she procs, she's not killing anybody. So even if you don't pick out Masha, if you pick out Oliver and they steal the Masha, you still have the more deals with Masha pretty well, because he does have the strip, and then he does have attack break, he does have the stun, and obviously you also have Asima and Qinting De Shang that could follow up to other strip and control you do. And more being in the water unit should get a strip relatively well, easily on a Masha. And Masha, if you outspeed, Masha usually on the Nemesis, so they have no will, which again means that's easier to control her. That's what I would do. You could even bring out like the Praha if you want to as a secondary stripper, other than like a Changpeng, depending on their team, right? Because if they bring out Masha and Verd, maybe you want 2 water strippers with the Moor and Praha, something like that. But that's my recommendation. I think you are utilizing the wrong speed lead. I think rather than the Chi-Yu, I would make your team overall just faster. And to do that, you have to probably condense your box, because you are kind of distributing your runes a little too much in my opinion. So yeah, I would make your Moor much faster, probably the 170 range on Despair. I think you could do it, since I did see your Swift set. They were relatively fast. I think you should have a relatively equal set in Despair. So let's say plus 170 Despair set with the 24 lead, right? That's 1. And then the Oliver obviously has a 33 lead, so that's really fast too. Then you'll put the Changpeng right after the Moor, either on Despair or Violent, however you want it, for the secondary strip or the pushback after the strip. And then your Qinting De Shang goes with more control, and then your Asima defense break control. Well, depending on how you're gonna do it, Asima could go first or Oliver, but I do like Asima going first, since then she could put in the defense break and Oliver could effectively put in more damage. But that is my recommendation, and that's all for the review. Hope you guys liked it. What did you guys think about this account? Do you guys agree with my recommendation in his RTA team, in his arena team, in his RTA and arena team? Let me know in the comments below. Do you guys think this is an awesome box? I personally do, with so many LD95s. Some are really good for RTA. So with better drafting, I think he should be able to climb easily to C3. But that's just my opinion. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.